The Big Bang Theory, behind the scenes and silly bloopers. Oh, these are always so much fun. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Flixorama. The Big Bang Theory was a hysterical 12-season sitcom that had viewers in stitches every episode, whilst teaching millions of eager viewers about science. But we don't need to tell you that, as you are a lover of the show, right? Moving on. Even the actors cracked up, as seen in some silly bloopers we shall be looking at in this video. Be warned, if you haven't watched this show yet, there will be massive spoilers. Here goes a heartbreaking moment. We're all so used to our favorite nerds talking about science all the time that it's hard to realize that they're just brilliant actors, learning their lines, and in real life, they don't know a thing about science. It's true, we're not all geeks, but even Jim Parsons, who plays Sheldon Cooper, isn't a nerd. In fact, he failed science class when he was in high school. However, Kaylee Cuoco, who plays Penny, is the normal one. She acts as the on-screen average viewer who is constantly amazed by the brainiac material her husband and friends talk about. Today, we're going to be talking about the Big Bang Theory behind-the-scenes moments and silly bloopers. Make sure you stay until number 1. You really don't want to miss this one because it's freaking hilarious! Number 1, an unaired pilot with nearly a completely different cast. I bet you didn't know this. The show we have all come to love and appreciate would have been dramatically different and cast gone on air. To get this show off the ground, the creators, Chuck Lorre and Bill Prady, originally filmed a pilot to pitch to big networks in 2006, a year before The Big Bang Theory first went on air. Largely, the only name of the show and 2 cast members, Jim Parsons as Sheldon Cooper and Johnny Galecki as Leonard Hofstadter, remained the same from the first pilot, but the similarities end there. Instead of Kaylee Cuoco Penny, Simon Helberg, Howard Wolowitz, and Kunal Nayyar, Raj Kuthrapali, the first pilot included 2 female leads, Amanda Walsh as the tough Katie, and Irish Barr as Gilda, a scientist friend of Sheldon and Leonard. Number 2, Cuoco's famous "What's My Line?" In the episode The Peanut Reaction, Penny was on an undertaking to throw Leonard his first birthday party. She needed Sheldon's help, and when he was hesitant, she threatened to draw on one of his mint condition comic books. As Sheldon is explaining their importance, Penny politely looks up and whispers, "What's my line?" while Parson laughs hysterically at her mistake. Number 3, whose line is it again? Really, Leonard? In the 12th season, Sheldon and Amy, played by Mayim Bialik, are now married and talking about thank you notes. But after Sheldon says his line, no one chimes in after him. The audience begins to laugh, and Amy quietly looks off screen and says, "I don't know whose line it is." An assistant runs onto the set to give Galecki Leonard his script. It was Leonard's line and he forgot. He laughed and cursed at himself before apologizing and redoing the scene. Number 4, Johnny Galecki plays the role of Sheldon Cooper. It is hard to believe it, but way before the show hit the airways, the creators wanted Galecki to play the role of Sheldon Cooper. During a 2015 interview with Larry King, the actor, who brought Leonard Hofstadter to life, revealed the producer's original pitch to him, stating, "Initially, before there was even a script, Chuck Lorre and Bill Prady came to me with the idea of playing Jim Parsons' character, the Sheldon character. This is long before they had met Jim and before anything was even written. They sent me a few pages of the theater I was working at in New York, and I read it and I thought, I'm much more drawn to this Leonard role because of the dynamism of the part." Number 5, Penny Spaghetti. Things were awkward between Penny and Leonard when they broke up, especially with their third wheeler, Sheldon. Sheldon detested that the two broke up and he didn't like change and had already accepted Penny into his life. To prove that Penny still loved Sheldon, she made him his favorite meal, spaghetti with hot dogs. While filming, the two were in conversation, but Parsons forgot his line. Cuoco didn't mind that Parsons messed up because she was mesmerized by the pasta. She kept eating throughout the scene and said, "This tastes so good," while everyone laughed. Number 6, the live audience chimes in. When Sheldon moved in with Amy in Penny's old apartment, Penny and Leonard were thrilled. They were finally able to live alone together and do what they please. To live in the moment, Leonard suggests dancing in their underwear, which they happily do. However, while filming, an audience member actually said "ew," to which Galecki said, "We're going to put on music and dance in our underwear." Both Galecki and Cuoco took the dig in good spirit and laughed it off while pointing the viewer to the door. Number 7, the producers thought Parsons couldn't consistently deliver his role. Discovering the perfect actor to bring Sheldon Cooper to life was a top priority for the show creators in the early days of pre-production. When Galecki said that he would rather play Leonard Hofstadter, the producers looked at Kevin Sussman, who would later play Stuart Bloom. In the special features of the complete series, Lorre and Prady revealed their thoughts when they first met Jim Parsons during his audition, with Lorre stating via The Sun, "He was astonishing. I didn't believe it when it happened. I never anticipated the character being the way he crafted it. It was funny, it was touching, it was real." Prady was just as enthusiastic, if not more, when recalling the audition, stating, "I was filled with inexperience and enthusiasm. I said to Chuck, 'That's the guy, that's the guy!' And Chuck said, 'He's going to break your heart. He's never going to give you that performance again.' Luckily for producers, the network, and Jim Parsons himself, he only got better as the show went along and became an international sensation in the process." Number 8, Tears of Laughter. In the space probe disintegration, Leonard and Sheldon were forced to follow their ladies around the mall because Amy and Penny were always accommodating of them. While waiting of Amy and Penny, they got into a disagreement about selfishness and entering a new era that doesn't include the other. Now that Leonard and Sheldon were living with their significant others, it was emotional for them to leave each other. While filming, Sheldon and Leonard are supposed to be crying, but Parson breaks character and begins laughing as he dabs his eyes. Number 9. Snoring with the giggles. When Sheldon and Amy spent the first night together in the same bed, both were apprehensive about the change and nervous. Amy woke up to Sheldon's noises. It was a combination of snoring and sighing while sleeping. Mayim Bialik did a fantastic job at keeping a straight face, but the two actors eventually broke character. Parsons was even making himself laugh. Number 10. Scientists fact-checking the show's scripts before production. With a show that is so heavily based on science, including all sorts of theories, equations, and other scientific qualities, it should come as no surprise that the producers brought on consultants to make sure everything checked out on The Big Bang Theory. In 2011, David Saltzberg, a professor of physics and astronomy at University of California, Los Angeles, told USA Today that he was often asked by the producers to provide feedback on different scientific elements of the show, including the script, which he would tinker with to make more accurate, as well as include the equations and diagrams that litter the background of the show's set. Number 11. The Vapor Rub with a Twist. When Amy came down with a cold, Sheldon used his chance to prove to Amy that he's a good boyfriend, and went out of his way to take care of her. Amy loved the adoration that after getting well, pretended to be still ill. In one scene, Sheldon applied Vapor Rub to Amy's chest in a sensual way that Amy began dying for and liked it a little too much. It's no surprise that both Bialik and Parsons began cackling by their own actions. Number 12. Amy gets ready for a spanking. Coming from the iconic Vapor Rub scene, Sheldon realized that Amy had feigned being sick after getting well and made him continue taking care of her. He decided the only way to get her to learn from her behavior was by spanking her. Amy, of course, didn't see this as a reprimand and loved the idea, but as Parsons swats Bialik's bottom, she began to laugh at the noises she makes, and the two have to redo the scene. Number 13. The Penny and Bernadette dinner blunder. In the Tam turbulence, Bernadette and Penny decide to spy on Raj's potential fiancée, Anu, to ascertain if she was the right girl for him. In the scene, she takes Anu out to dinner, where they get to know her better and realize that she's a total catch. When Anu asks Penny and Bernadette what kind of guy Raj is, Kaylee Cuoco Penny forgets her line and says, "Raj is like so much fun to hang out with. No, I mean, he is, but no." Meanwhile, the live audience giggles at her blunder, and Melissa Rauch Bernadette laughs with Cuoco. Number 14. Howard accidentally trips. After Howard and Bernadette had their firstborn Haley, the two kept up their social life by bringing the baby to Leonard's apartment. In one scene, Howard said that Haley was sleeping in her car seat and asked if they could place her in their bedroom. On his way to the bedroom, Simon Helberg, Howard, accidentally hits the baby's car seat on the chair. This small trip made everyone laugh because of Helberg's nervous reaction. Number 15. Mayim Bialik's PhD was thoroughly utilized. The producers of the show didn't solely rely on outside consultants to fact-check different theories and equations discussed throughout the show. During a 2012 appearance on Conan, Mayim Bialik revealed that she included that she had a PhD on her resume when she was first auditioning for a role on the show, which blew away the producers, specifically Bill Prady, stating, "When they brought me back for the 4th season, Bill Prady said, they figured, why not make her what I am, so I can fix small things when they are wrong. Generally, they pretty much get everything right." And that's all for now. While you are here, go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there!